When your friend comes to you and she's crying over a guy or she has an issue and you are like a good friend and you sit there and you say, let's unpack. I got you. Like, what is it? I'm here for you. Da, da, da. Why are you not doing that for yourself? I want you to stop ignoring yourself. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Alicia Gogan. If you are new, and if you're new, don't forget to subscribe because I post every week and it's a good time over here. So I put on my Instagram and my community tab asking you guys, what video did you want to see first? And it was almost giving 50-50, but you guys wanted this one first. I get questions from you guys all the time asking, how do I enjoy my own company? How do I connect deeper to myself? How do I date myself? How do I be there for myself? And I think I have some pretty good answers considering I have a very deep, close connection with myself. But first, I just want to say thank you for Plus One for sponsoring today's video. Guys, we have a sponsor. And Plus One is really breaking down the taboos, the barriers, the stigma of having a self-pleasure practice using sexual wellness devices. And they offer very luxury, okay? Clean, beautiful, aesthetically pleasing, and affordable sexual wellness devices, which we are going to talk about in this video, but I just want to say thank you right at the beginning here for sponsoring today's video. Okay, so it makes sense why you guys have these questions. They're very valid of trying to figure out how to have a deeper connection with yourself. You might be somebody like me in the past that has had a life experience where it's just difficult for you to even find the time to date yourself, know yourself, love yourself, and you might not even really explored how to enjoy the time you do spend with yourself. And maybe when we're even talking about an intimate, deep connection with yourself, maybe you don't even have that. I didn't have that for so many years. Whatever it is, not having a healthy relationship with yourself can very much so impact not only the other relationships that you have in your life, but it can also really impact your ability to trust yourself and feel solid and grounded within yourself and enjoy life. Now, I want you to think about something for a moment. When we think about relationships with other people, like especially men, if you're a girly here, what do we think about? What do we get excited about when it comes to being in a relationship with someone else? The fun date nights, being able to have somebody to go out with, intimacy, having support and deep connection with someone, and honestly just overall happiness. It's just so nice to be in a relationship, right? And if we think about the relationships that we have with ourselves, it's really to learn how to have those same elements that you would have in a relationship with someone else and bringing them towards yourself, doing that same thing. But the problem is we really lack showing up for ourselves in that way. We lack the support, the connection, the intimacy, the excitement, the date nights, all of those things. And we need to learn how to do that for ourselves with ourselves. So let's talk about the first thing. I think it is so weird to me that it's not taboo to, engage in sexual intimacy with another person, indulge in hookup culture, but even if you're in a relationship, whatever. But when it comes to having a deep, intimate connection with ourselves, it's weird. It's wrong. We shouldn't talk about it. There's just so much stigma around it. But listen, that's not my channel. That's not what I'm here for. That is not what we're going to be doing moving forward. Because truly one of the most empowering, profound things that I have done in really allowing me to deepen my connection with myself is getting intimate with myself, is learning to cultivate a self-pleasure practice. And I was thinking about this. I feel like there's two ends of the spectrum. I guess there's three, which would be me right now, but there was like two ways in which I used to think about this. I used to first think that having a self-pleasure practice was really, really bad and wrong and just like shameful and feel guilty about even wanting or thinking about it. And then I kind of like matured a little bit and realized, okay, more people are doing it. It's not that bad. And then I got to a point where I realized the benefits of having a self-pleasure practice, but then I wouldn't really do it though. Like I wouldn't really prioritize it at all. And really the only time I was tapping into pleasure was when I was in a relationship. Until now I'm at an age where I realize the importance of having a self-pleasure practice for yourself, but also so that you can show up even better in intimate connections, like relationships, but also just allowing yourself to indulge in pleasure, even outside of relationships, allows you to show up better in life. Your energy is open, your energy is free, you're moving energy through your body literally when you indulge in pleasure. And I remember when I was moving from it feeling very shameful to, okay, I should do it, but whatever. There was this like awakening moment in my life where when I really like actually cultivated a proper self-pleasure practice for myself. It literally felt, when you're on a diet and you see chocolate cake and you really want it and you'll eat it, but you'll feel really like a lot of shame, guilt, regret, just weird. You just want to go to the gym and just like work it off. It was like I got to this point where I saw a chocolate cake and when I fully allowed myself to indulge in that chocolate cake, it literally rejuvenated me. It fueled me. It was just the right amount of chocolate cake. It allowed me to just like keep going in my life and just, feel like I was rewarded for what I was doing in my life, like whatever. That's how I literally feel when it comes to like actually, when I finally allowed myself to have and cultivate a self-pleasure practice and not feel shame, guilt, anything about it, and actually speak about it. And that is why I am partnering with Plus One in this video today, because guys, I want you to feel like it's okay to explore your body, to explore sexual wellness products without feeling weird or awkward doing it. And I think what has helped me the most when I first got into, sexual wellness devices and all that, I mean, there's so many on the market and a lot of them were really expensive and a lot of them were just like big and a lot. And I was like, no, I can't, I don't want that. Until I realized that there is so many options, so many affordable, beautiful options, and Plus One has such beautiful toys. Now listen, they have a lot on their website, but I wanna show you the one that I have. I have a lot, guys. I actually counted, guys. I literally have 8. You would think that you know what, whatever. It is what it is. Okay, I wanna talk about this one though, okay? This is called the Vibrating Bullet. It has 10 speeds. First of all, I love the color blue. It is so tiny and perfect, like so discreet, you wouldn't even know. Like no one would know. All of my toys, like nobody even knows, okay? Not like if they knew it would be a big thing, but they don't. Along with some lube, because sometimes you need it, okay? Sometimes it'll be a little dry down there, and you can obviously use this like with your toys, or even if you're in a relationship, you know the vibes, okay? And it's water-based, like it's very, very hygienic. It smells very clean as well. Safe for your body, safe for your devices. Now this is rechargeable, okay? So it lasts up to like 2 hours, which is perfect. It's fully waterproof, so you could bring it into the bath if you want, girly, you know those ones. But you can also just wash this and not feel like you're gonna like ruin your device or anything. So affordable. And it also comes with a USB charger. So, I think these are the best when it comes with any sort of wellness device, because honestly, who's trying to go get batteries when you can just plug this into a wall real quick? And when you get the starter pack, it actually comes with this little bag, so you can just like put all your little, your important things here. And they came with stickers as well. Stop this right now, okay? So the first one says vibin' and thrivin', like, okay, sure, love it. Now this one, it says, stop faking O's. This needs to be the motto of 2023. Stop faking, seriously. Now, what's gonna help you stop faking is to learn how to owe yourself with yourself. We, especially as women, I find, struggle so much with connecting deeply and just allowing ourselves to relax while we're being intimate with others. And what's really helped me is to cultivate this type of relationship with myself in my own bed so that I can be better in the bed with him, So I just think, especially their vibrator bullet, this whole little starter pack is literally a starter, like the perfect start for someone, because I remember when I started first getting mine, I was like, what do I get? These are a lot of really big, you've never tried it before. I think this is a very good start. And if you use my code Alicia20, you can get a discount at checkout. Now, you can buy their products on their website, but you can also buy them in store, certain retailers. I know they sell a lot of different places like Amazon, Walgreens, Shoppers Drug Mart. I will have my discount code. I will have the link down below as well for you to shop to get the starter kit or to browse any other products. Sorry for the angle change, but you can shop their products for their site-wide sale on myplusone.com. This is for Valentine's Day, Galentine's Day, whatever day you want it to be. And Plus One actually conducted a research study where they found that 89% of women given a vibrator would use it. So you are definitely not alone if you're picking up the vibes. I really think it's important that we have our self-pleasure practices even when we're in a relationship. Now, one thing that I do, I'll get my favorite device, I'll put on a Femme Fatale Villain Era music playlist on YouTube, and I'm gonna link it down below for you guys if you're interested in it. It sets the vibe. When you listen to it, you'll get it. It will set your vibe. Lights are going down, the whole night is set, and you enjoy your time. You enjoy your body. You enjoy pleasure. Allow yourself to indulge in pleasure. Okay, the next thing we need to talk about is support and connection. Now, we always long for that in relationships, right? We want a man to just listen to us and, you know, someone to be there and support us and blah, 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 and that's great and we love it. But the truth is, even when you're in a relationship, and I really realized this in my past relationship, just because you're in a relationship doesn't mean that somebody can just be on and there for you and ready to go. They might be going through their own things. They might just not actually have time to address and unpack something that you're dealing with at that moment. And honestly, nor should you, the person that you're with, always do that for you, right? Or your friends always be the one that has to unpack everything. You know, maybe your friends are going through something. Maybe your parents are going through, you know, you never know. And sometimes we just have a lot of things that we need to unpack. We have a lot of emotions, we have a lot of thoughts, we have a lot of this, that, and the third. And my question is, why aren't you learning to connect with yourself? Why are you not talking to yourself? Why are you not building that muscle of sitting down with yourself every single day and asking yourself, how is it that I'm doing today? What am I feeling like? So this is what I want you to do. When you are feeling anxious, sad, even happy, any emotion, I want you to sit with yourself and journal or speak out loud, but you can do a journal practice here. Because why is it that when you're feeling anxious, when you're feeling sad, when you're whatever, you are going to escape? You know, you're going on TikTok and scrolling, or you going to a video to suppress and like run away, or, you know, when your friends can't unpack it with you, you're just like waiting around until they can. I want you, when you are feeling emotions, to stop running away from yourself. Sit with yourself. The same way when your friend comes to you and she's crying over a guy, or she has an issue and you are like a good friend and you sit there and you say, let's unpack. I got you. Like, what is it? I'm here for you. Da, da, da. Why are you not doing that for yourself? We wonder why we just don't have a deep connection with ourselves. Well, when we feel those hard emotions, what we usually do is run away from ourselves. We suppress, we ignore. I want you to stop ignoring yourself. And it can be difficult, right? Because it's really you sitting with a negative emotion sometimes. You look at these emotions like they're bad and they're wrong. And the reason why I'm saying negative is because we do look at them like that, but they're really not bad and scary. They might feel it because we never learned how to process them and sit with ourselves. But the truth is, our inner self, our inner child, for some reason, is crying out to us. When you're sad, when you're anxious, when you're nervous, when you're fearful, when you're even happy, whatever it is, it's like your inner child's like, hello, I want to talk to you, I need you. And it's so important that we listen, that we sit down and we say, you know, what are we feeling right now? So something that you can do when you're feeling these emotions is to sit down with yourself and start asking yourself the question of, how am I feeling right now? Why am I feeling like this right now? What do I need to tell myself right now to feel better? Because what we're also looking for in relations to other people as well is for when we are feeling sad, anxious, whatever, for someone to tell us what we need to hear, right? And again, sometimes somebody can't tell us what we need to hear because they're just not available. We need to learn how to do that ourselves. We need to learn how to create positive affirmations with ourselves to be like, you're okay, you are safe, you got this. I know you're afraid of this right now, you're uncertain, you're emotional, you're whatever, but talk to yourself, talk to your inner self, learn how to soothe yourself. And the only way you're gonna get better at doing that is when you feel an emotion, you sit with yourself and you start journaling how you're feeling, why you're feeling, and what does your inner child need to hear that's gonna help you. And watch the way that you feel. You feel so much better than for you to suppress, watch TV, get mad at yourself because you're feeling like this, telling yourself you shouldn't feel like this, X, Y, and Z. It doesn't matter, you're feeling like this, okay? Don't get mad at yourself because you're feeling sad. Just don't, it's okay. We all feel an emotion, but it's just like, let's aid ourselves now. Another thing, we need to talk about spending time with ourselves and going on dates and whatever. Listen, I feel like we all have struggled with being able to go out like on a date with ourselves. It's very awkward. We don't really know how to do it. We're always waiting for our friends, you know, and especially if we're not in a relationship, we're literally feeling like we are waiting around until we get into a relationship to do these things. But it also makes us realize just how much we're not living our life because we're waiting for other people who, as you get older, you'll realize not all your friends can go out with you on the weekend, but it's like, what, you're gonna stay in and not do anything just because you don't have friends to do things for? Like, no, or with, sorry, no, not happening. So let's quickly talk about solo dates here. They can be difficult, okay? I get it. And I think I have a few tips here. For one is to start off slow. When we think about going on a solo date, we think about never going out with ourselves and then like putting ourselves downtown Toronto at a bar at like 8 p.m. where everyone's having dinner and everyone looks amazing and you're like sat there and you're having a drink. Like that is a lot. Is it cool? Can you do it? 100%. But sometimes we need to work our way up to having that confidence to be able to even do that. So I would say this, when you want to go out by yourself, go on days where it's not as busy, go at times where it's less busy, whether that be at a bar or a restaurant, or if it's literally just a cafe. And especially even if it's at a cafe or even at any type of restaurant, you can bring your laptop if you want, or you can bring a book to help you feel like you're not just sitting there just like you don't know what to do with yourself, because sometimes it can be very overwhelming. And you know, you're worrying about if other people are watching you, which don't, because nobody, even if people were watching you and judging you, who cares? Like they're irrelevant anyways. But I think starting off small is really going to help you, because if you think about setting a date, okay, next Friday night I'm gonna go on a solo date, and it's literally, like I said, downtown Toronto by yourself at 8 p.m. where everyone is out, you'll probably find an excuse to not go. Or you'll probably think to ask a million people to try and meet you because you're scared. Another thing is, when you're, let's say you are going out, whatever time it is, if it's busy or it's not, what you can do is you can go a little bit earlier, let's say like an hour earlier before you're gonna meet your friend, and you can have a drink and kind of get used to it knowing that your friend is coming. Like you're waiting for somebody to come. But also another tip is, when you do go out, stop waiting for something to happen. I feel like sometimes we put so much pressure on going out by ourselves. It's like we're waiting for Prince Charming, or we're waiting for something to happen, or for someone to talk to us, or for someone to make us feel X, Y, and Z, or someone to da-da-da. Just go and experience life. If you're getting a drink, enjoy your freaking drink. Take a photo of that drink. Browse the room. Watch and take in everyone else. Talk to the bartender if the bartender wants to talk to you. Talk to the barista if you're going to coffee. You know, just like really take in your environment and just be present. Present is so key here. And pleasure actually comes into this outside of like self-pleasure in the bed, but also indulging in, let's say you're getting a meal or coffee or a drink. Be present in the moment and enjoy it. Taste it. Allow yourself to enjoy the pleasures of life. One more thing when it comes to solo dates and just spending time with yourself, and this can be, you don't have to go out, right? It's also about, you know, having your own nights in as well. You have to set out the time to do these things the same way you would with a relationship. Why is it that you will literally plan out all your day nights with your boyfriend when you have one, or with your friends even? You'll plan out all the outfits, you'll plan out when you're gonna take the photos, you're so excited, da-da-da. Why aren't you doing that with yourself? So I think it's really important, whether you're going out or having a night in, you find a schedule that works for you. Maybe it's once a week, maybe it's once a month, whatever. I'm not here to tell you how much you need to spend time with yourself, but you actually plan it and you get excited for it, and you cultivate a vibe, you cultivate a routine of like, I am not gonna do the same thing. Like, okay, Friday night, yeah, sure, I'll watch a movie by myself and then I'll call it like a date night with myself, but you're like on your computer still kind of working on things, or you're like talking to a million people and you're not even present with yourself. Find what it is that you really enjoy doing, whether that is reading a book, which I actually really want to buy some books and just really get more into reading, or a show that you really, really love, a food item, cooking, listening to music. I love listening to music and just dancing, whatever it is. Create the time to actually say, I'm gonna be doing this thing and I'm not gonna do anything else that I don't wanna do. And the truth is, spending more time with ourselves, learning how to have confidence to go out by ourselves, to be there and be that support and that connection with ourselves when we need it the most, of course is going to help us up level our lives and just, you know, become women or men if you're watching this. But it's also going to allow us to truly show up better in the relationships that we have outside of ourselves. Intimate relationships with men, relationships with family, relationships with friends. Because when you're intimate with yourself and you know your body, it's gonna be so much easier for you to connect with someone on a physical level. It just is. It will be way less awkward when you have gotten used to touching yourself, loving yourself, knowing what feels good, what doesn't, so that you can better communicate with that other person. It really does help. And also, when you spend more time being loving and affirming yourself on the days that you feel anxious and scared and fearful and, you know, self-hating, whatever, and you actually sit with yourself and you learn to talk to yourself and affirm to yourself and be like, it's okay, I love you, you don't need to be perfect, I accept you, whatever, you're gonna be able to do that with your friends. You're gonna be able to show up as a better friend to people. So when they come to you and they need to connect, they can feel like you relate because you've actually worked through these things yourself and you know how they feel, but you can also be that person for them. You can give them good advice. You can give them the affirmations when they need it the most. And also, even when it comes to going out with yourself, it's like when you get so confident with being able to like go out and do whatever you want, and you know, it's just like you don't really care, you're not tied down to anyone, you don't need a friend to go out. When you do go out with people, it's almost like you're kind of like the life of the party. You're very embodied, you're really enjoying the presence, you're not really stressed about, oh, what about this table or that table, because it's like, you know, you might have been that place before, or, you know, you've explored, whatever. And also, like, let's say you're having a great time and your friends need to go, you have the option to stay if you want. And honestly, this is gonna take time. Take your time doing this. Take your time into implementing these small things. The self-pleasure practice doesn't have to be all the time, doesn't have to be rigid. Listen to your body, connect deeper to your body. Go out when you can. Be there with yourself when you're feeling sad. It doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to be perfect with everything, but the more times you do that, you will feel so connected to yourself on the days that are really hard, when no one can show up for you. And this is what's so important, right? Is just to build that. The most important relationship that you will ever have is the one with yourself. And if we want these amazing, beautiful relationships with other people, it's like we need to learn how to do this with ourselves first. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Be sure to be subscribed and put on the bell notification as well, because this February I'm putting out so many videos when it comes to building a deeper connection with yourself. I'm going to be coming out with a video on how not to lose yourself in a relationship as well, because I know you girlies, a lot of you girls, you're in a relationship and, you know, maybe you've lost yourself a little bit, you've become a little bit obsessed with a man. Don't worry, I've done that and I have some tips for that. But I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget, I have a podcast channel, which will be linked on the screen right now, where we have longer chats, everything self-love, confidence. We talk about ins and outs, femme fatale eras. We talk about it all. Thank you guys so much for being here. And thank you again, Plus One, for sponsoring this video. All the links to everything I talked about, the starter kit, the discount code, where you can get all the devices will be linked in the description. Thank you so much. Bye.